This is Rob Riggs with Co-Conspirators. I was speaking earlier with a client about differentiation, and the question came up, how do we set ourselves apart from our competitors? Because at the end of the day, they just felt like what they were doing, the service they're providing to their customers and clients, is kind of a commodity. It's fairly the same as what their competitors provide. So how do we differentiate ourselves in that situation? And I thought that maybe you might ask yourself the same question. There are a lot of ways that a company can differentiate themselves from their competitors. So much so, in fact, that we can help a client who does provide the exact same service as another one of our clients, but we market them completely differently because their company is completely different. It's just like your fingerprint is different than the fingerprint of your competitor. So here are just a few of the ways that you can differentiate yourselves from your competitors. The first way that you could differentiate from your competitors is price. And we're not going to talk about that because I don't recommend that you compete on price. Walmart can compete on price, but if you're a small service-based business, competing on price is a race to the bottom. If you beat your competitor's price by $1 today, they're going to lower their price to beat you by $1 tomorrow. And then you'd respond in kind, and it's going to be a race to the bottom. You don't want to do that. But here are a few ways that you can compete and win. Number one is level of service. People these days are willing to pay a higher price for a better service. So the question is, how can you offer service at a level that is worth paying more for in your client's mind? Whether that higher level is the white glove treatment, whether that is a service guarantee or an ancillary giveaway that comes across as a nice touch, a wow factor. You can set yourself apart with response times, being the first to return a call, being the first to be on site if you have a business where you're at your customer's home or in a client's place of business. Being the first to market oftentimes wins you the business over your competitors. Because if you think about it, if you need a plumber, for example, most plumbing needs are not lofty plumbing goals that we want to take care of at some point in the future. It's something that somebody wants done right now. So they go to Google, they perform a search, and they go down the list, and the person will usually choose to do business with the person that either picks up the phone immediately or calls back first. That's usually the person they're going to hire. And it doesn't matter if they're $20 more or $50 or more for a service call. They just need this issue fixed right now. The next is the X factor. So what is there? Is there something that you can provide that is of value to your customer and also a trigger for that person to do business with you again? So we have a client who is an HVAC service repair company, and there are things that need to be checked routinely to ensure that somebody's business or somebody's home is ready for the winter. There can be danger in turning on a heating unit that hasn't been used in months. And so our client will leave a reminder, like on a fridge magnet, or send an email in a timely manner that reminds their customers when to perform certain activities. They also leave a sticker on the AC unit so that when somebody goes into the utility closet, there's a schedule that lets them know when to call for service and what they can do on their own. And our client even leaves an extra filter so that the homeowner can change the filter themselves in between service calls. That's very forward thinking. Another way that you can differentiate yourselves from your competitors is your purpose or your why. So we also have a client company that works with animal removal, pest and rodent removal, that sort of thing. And that the people may not want crawling around in their attics. So our client will help remove those animals and rehome them in nature away from homes where they can't get back into trouble. But they also give 20% of their proceeds to animal shelters, and they feed starving animals like you see in Sarah McLachlan commercials at Christmas. And that gives us a nice warm place in our hearts. So if you were evaluating two companies for a particular service, all things being equal, you're probably going to want to do business with a company who's doing good in their community. So I'd ask you now, what are some ways that you can differentiate yourself using these methods or other methods that I haven't even mentioned here today? I'd love to hear in the comments below.